TomoNews presents Chocolate.
Gross photo shows why dogs should not eat chocolate. What we are about to show is really, really gross. So if you don't want to see what happens when a dog eats too much chocolate, click away now. This is Sophia, a boxer who made an animal hospital in Virginia look like a scene from The Exorcist after eating too much chocolate. Sophia's problem started last holiday season when she and an unnamed canine partner in crime helped themselves to more than a kilo of chocolate left under the Christmas tree by owner Daisy Roja. Chocolate contains a stimulant called theobromine that is toxic to dogs. It can affect the heart, kidneys, and central nervous system. Dogs who eat too much chocolate can die. At best, they'll suffer symptoms including diarrhea, seizures, and vomiting. The darker the chocolate, the more theobromine it contains. Doses of around 100 milligrams per kilogram of body weight are toxic to dogs. Sophia and the other dog were rushed to an animal hospital for treatment, suffering from vomiting and high heart rates. After chucking up another chocolate fountain, the dogs were fed activated charcoal to stop the toxins from being absorbed and given intravenous fluids. The animal hospital released the pooch puke photo on social media to warn owners not to feed their dogs chocolate this festive season. Sophia and her friend survived death by chocolate and made a full recovery from the incident.
Toblerone's new chocolate bars are making everyone very unhappy. Fans of Toblerone are voicing their displeasure across social media after the company released a new design for the airport duty-free staple. A statement posted to Toblerone's Facebook page explains that rising costs in production of the famous treat is what led to the redesign of their 400-gram and 170-gram chocolate bars. However, the company assures the public that other bars will remain unchanged. The new design widens the gaps between the iconic triangle pieces of the treat, while the length of the entire chocolate bar remains the same. This means chocolate bars that were formerly 400 grams now weigh only 360 grams at the same length. In other words, consumers are getting roughly 10% less chocolate for the same price. The new design allowed the company to reduce the amount of chocolate but retain the original size and shape of the bar's packaging. However, the company has assured everyone that the shape change will not affect the taste or quality of their chocolate bars. Even so, some fans are not so forgiving, even going so far as to blame the new design on Brexit. Hold on to your sweet tooth! McDonald's seems to be on a mission to kill us with calories, one decadent food item at a time. After unleashing chocolate-covered fries on Japan, it's now targeting unsuspecting Italians with something they won't be able to resist. 2 days after humanity effed itself up, Mickey D's decided to console the world by making a dessert burger filled with everyone's favorite hazelnut spread. No meat, no cheese, no pickles, just carbs and choco hazelnutty goodness. But you'll have to fly to Italy if you want Nutella between your buns. And you'll probably need to have more than one, because the sweetie con Nutella is definitely not American-sized. Might be a good idea just to make your own dessert witch, or better yet, just eat it straight out of the jar like a proper Nutella monster. Although if the Nutella burger ever comes to our shores, definitely not complaining. Caramel is coming. Thank ye candy gods for answering all our prayers, as M&M's comes out with a new flavor next year that proves there is still goodness in this world. Chocolatey goodness. It took 75 years, but the M&M's crew has finally decided to fill their candies with something soft and gooey for a change. Soon we can all indulge in luscious caramel, covered in milk chocolate and encased in a crunchy, colorful shell. None of that pumpkin spice bullcrap. The new flavor is going to be a permanent item, and the company's gateway to the booming $2.2 billion caramel business. M&M's is so serious about it that they spent 2 years figuring out how to do caramel right, and even built a new plant in Kansas to produce the tasty morsels. The caramel candies are set to fly off shelves and make America fat again by May 2017. Until then, we'll just be here drooling.
Chocolate is about to say goodbye to the world. If you're a fan of chocolate, you better start hoarding it now because it may be joining the dinosaurs in just a few decades. Scientists say chocolate is in danger of disappearing by 2050 due to warmer and drier conditions from global warming. Cacao can only be grown within a narrow strip of rainforested land about 20 degrees north and south of the equator, where the temperature, rain, and humidity are relatively constant year-round. Over half of the world's chocolate comes from two African countries, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. However, rising temperatures over the next decades will make those regions unsuitable for cacao. Researchers from the University of California are now working with the Mars company to save the cacao plant from disappearing. Berkeley scientists hope to modify cacao DNA using CRISPR technology to develop plants that won't wilt or rot at their current elevations under warmer conditions. No, but really, life without chocolate?
French police taser chocolate-crazed monkey. A Barbary macaque, an endangered primate, was tased and detained by French police after causing trouble in Marseille. Investigators said the monkey was apparently being kept illegally before it was abandoned. It had been subsisting on a diet of Kinder chocolates given to it by children. But it reportedly scratched and hurt the kids in an elementary school. Police received more than a dozen calls in the past few weeks. But the monkey always managed to flee the scene before the officers arrived. On Tuesday, a patrol was sent to capture the monkey and managed to subdue it with a taser after a cop was bitten on the hand. The monkey was sent to the Saint-Étienne Animal Protection Association and is in good condition. It will be sent to a zoo after a quarantine.
Squirrel gets in the holiday mood by feasting on pricey chocolates. An American squirrel was caught on camera nabbing expensive chocolates and some lip balm from a Jersey family's porch. Every year, the Boudreaux family leaves out a holiday basket for delivery people on their doorstep. They stuff it with candy, snacks, tissues, hand warmers, and other treats. Michelle Boudreaux said they never had any issues until this year when she noticed the basket was raided shortly after she placed it outside. She said the thief was only taking the expensive treats, including 25 Ghirardelli chocolate squares. The family put up a hidden camera to see if they could catch the perpetrator in action. They were more than a little surprised to see it was actually a super chunky squirrel. Michelle then later actually ran into Chunk mid-heist and watched him clear out their chocolate yet again. Oh yeah, he also took a Carmex lip balm. The chocolate has now been placed in a jar, but Michelle still leaves out squirrel treats for Chunk too.
Well, hell no. Fan favorite Maltesers might be getting an unappetizing makeover because nothing is sacred anymore. Mars apparently wants to fight falling sales by turning the malted chocolate balls into flat oval-shaped buttons. How that's gonna solve things is anyone's guess. The depressing news got leaked by someone who auditioned for a new online ad. While acting out a scene, he and some other actors were told that the Maltesers they'd be holding would be flat. None of them thought flat Maltesers were a good idea, probably because it isn't. You'll bet fans will riot if the change ever goes through. So unless you're gonna be getting a lot more balls, Mars better leave Maltesers alone.
Great news for chocolate lovers! Researchers have found there are compounds in chocolate that could help to prevent and treat type 2 diabetes. Beta cells inside the islet of Langerhans in the pancreas are responsible for secreting insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. When someone suffers from type 2 diabetes, the beta cells malfunction and produce insufficient levels of insulin. Compounds found naturally in cocoa, called epicattin monomers, were found to be able to increase the ability of beta cells to secrete insulin. The compound successfully helped mice on a high-fat diet to cope with elevated blood sugar levels, as well as decrease the extent of their obesity. Researchers are looking for ways to extract the compound out of cocoa in order to create more effective treatments for diabetes patients.
Google's dark little secrets, M&Ms and Kit Kats. It appears that Google has been having size issues, not with profits, but with expanding waistlines from M&Ms and other goodies offered throughout Google offices. Google launched Operation M&M, a special ops group of PhDs that conduct studies on snacking patterns and proximity of employees to M&M bins. by keeping M&Ms in opaque containers and leaving healthful options in glass jars. The New York office was able to cut 3.1 million calories in M&M consumption over 7 weeks. However, the chocolate addiction problem is clearly spreading at Google, as the newest version of Android will be called Kit Kat. What's really going on at Google? Kit Kats or M&Ms, which do you prefer?